Hello, Great River Rescue. My name is Kelly Hahn, and I'm presenting today for CreateMe Incorporated. We're located right out of St. Charles, Minnesota, which is close to Rochester. I'm so very excited today to talk to you about your program and what we can do for you for advertising. So, just a little note from me. I am really thankful for the opportunity to be able to present our recommendations for developing the media strategies and producing advertisement materials for Great River Rescue. We are convinced we are and have the expertise to drive and help create a really well drafted plan to help you achieve your desired goals. We do feel that you're our partner and we want to be able to help you and guide you in the ways that we know how. We have a team of highly creative, strategic thinkers, and we're committed to rallying behind the mission and vision of Great River Rescue. Thank you again so much for letting us partner with you. A little bit about me. My name is Kelly Hahn, and I am the owner of CreateMe Inc., and I actually am a marketing and communications professional. I have shown horses for over 20 years. I am an animal lover. I call myself a horse whisperer, right? And also, I have to admit to being a purse hoarder. I love purses, any kind of purses. And anyways, that's just a ridiculous story all in itself. If I could be any animal, it would be a golden retriever for sure, or perhaps a dolphin because I'm from San Diego, so I just absolutely love the ocean. But I do have over 20 years of sales and marketing experience, both regionally and nationally, and I really love to create advertisements that bring out emotion and understanding of who our clients are and what they really need. So, here at CreateMe, we believe that each client really brings their own unique set of challenges and goals. We really want to listen to what our clients have to say, not just hear. It's very important to get down deep to what your goals and your challenges are, understand your demographic, understand how you work internally to really give you the best advertisements that work for you. We are a full service agency that offers media planning, strategic communication flows, something that we haven't done for you, but also branding, print, and social media marketing campaigns. I believe strongly in ethics and honesty and professionalism always. Very open to communication. We want to make sure that if you have needs or ideas that you want relayed to us, that we're kind of bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other. We do believe in sustainability and are committed to working with partners that share the same belief. One thing that Great River Rescue really wants to focus on is retention. You know, really showing the families and the people that adopt pets how to care for them for a long-term goal of having that pet in that home for really being a true quote-unquote forever family. So it's that retention of those pets in there so they don't have the turnover and don't end up back in the shelter again. Our clients are the heart and soul of our business, and we really value the relationship that we build with them. We build strong solutions that work for our clients, specific to the mission and vision of our companies. And also, our team is really built on creativity, strategic planning, and forward thinking. So we're really committed to helping you achieve your goals. So our project objectives, so right now what we want to do is increase the traffic to the Greater River Rescue website by 10%. We want to increase Facebook followers by 10%. We also want to increase the number of donors. CreateMe will accomplish these objectives by producing 14 ads, print ads and digital ads that use persuasive elements to align with the goals of Great River Rescue. The persuasive elements will provide information, influence decisions, create emotion, address resistance, guide acceptance, and send messages or grab attention. So that's really what we want to do with these ads is we want to touch on those different areas to try to bring different emotions out in different types of people, all for the same goal of increasing that traffic and getting those followers and engagements, and then increasing the amount of financial help that the shelter can get for their pets. So we did a literature review for Signal Fire. They did an ad portfolio. The purpose of this really was to summarize an example of what a current marketing campaign what that was done for a similar nonprofit like Great River Rescue. What we did is we looked at all of the different materials that they produced for, it was actually an animal welfare society back in Wisconsin, and they had something similar to Great River Rescue, and they had a name change in their company. So there was really a rebranding effort that went on there, and they changed everything from the letterhead to the way that the website worked, and really had to make sure that people understood that what was previous is different now. And so it was really a challenge for them to do this. And we could see all the different materials that they did. During the rebrand, they did complete an overhaul of the website, which was really, really nice. The collateral materials, such as letterhead, of course, and the business cards that I talked about. The look and feel was consistent throughout the entire different pieces. So that was really nice to see that consistency. The website contained a real good standout call to action button for donations. That was first and foremost something on their website. The navigation was optimized for our mobile application, which is really good. This website is referenced, of course, in my cited works, so you can refer to it if you wanted to. They also designed a lot of event materials, something that we didn't have an opportunity to design for you, but they did do a lot of really cool self-mailers and a lot of brochures and different things like that. The print cost of those things is pretty high, and I know we have a budget that we want to stick within, but those are things that possibly could be done in the future considering the amount of events that Great River Rescue does. Your situation as we see it. We know that you are a nonprofit organization. We know that you started in 1977, which was a great anniversary here this year. We know that you pride yourself in being a no-kill facility, which basically means that you try to find homes for all of your dogs and cats and avoiding euthanasia. We know that you rely on your adoption, your donations, and your surrender fees to basically cover all of the costs of the animal care. Donations were the highest revenue generating at 48%, according to what we were able to obtain in your annual report and in the funding page of the website. We know that you believe in the community and all the things that you do within the community, and your strong partnerships. Your volunteers that you have is very important to you. We can see that you build relationships with your fundraising, with your youth programs, kind of getting everybody to understand what you do from the very beginning is great. We know that you are made up of about a 10-member board of directors, an executive director, kennel coordinator, and we put a 4.5 kennel workers and 1.5 desk work people that did desk work, but the reason is because you have one person that actually does two different areas, and then of course a mod squad coordinator. Together, we see that those people as a whole run the day-to-day operations. We did review, of course, the 2016 annual report that Mr. Musful put together. Some of the highlights of the year included that 353 pet adoptions, 236 pets that were spayed and neutered, 858 vaccinations were given, and over 3,000 volunteer hours and 56 community presentations. That is absolutely wonderful work that you guys are doing within the Bemidji community. I can't wait to see how we can help you guys do even more. And it really also looking at that, they said that nearly half of the animals, 152, were taken in because of the person in possession of the animal just couldn't provide adequate care, and that's something that we'll touch on later in the presentation. But this information really relates to one of your initiatives, which was to bring more education to the public about what it means to care for a dog or a cat. We understand Great River Rescue's objectives as being really to build that brand awareness and overall reputation of Great River Rescue, and to increase across all target populations, website visits, engagement, adoption inquiries, and of course donators. We want people to be able to donate to your cause. I did a literature review of the pet pet shelter industry. The purpose of this literature review was to demonstrate understanding for the rehoming process, and also the animal shelter industry as a whole. In the information that I was able to gather, there was a study that they focused on in 2014 that estimated the number of dogs in the U.S. to be approximately 77.8 million dogs, and just the cats were 85.8 million. It was just a huge number, and of course of those numbers it estimated that 7.6 million dogs have entered into shelters, which is just a great need, as far as the shelters needing to have those resources to be able to handle the volume of animals that are coming in. There were many reasons. The rehomed cats typically were living outside and were not spayed and neutered, so I found that to be interesting. Most of the dogs that entered the shelters were 5 months to 2 years old, and really they talked about some of the reasons why people were giving up their pets were due to lack of time, having personal problems, or perhaps allergies. So that goes back really to what Great River Rescue's goals are as far as education, for being able to handle that lack of time or that personal problems and different things like that. Like how can they care for that pet a little bit better so that they don't have the turnover that they do. They looked at a study regarding the retention of the dogs and cats. 40% of the respondents said that lower free veterinary care would have helped, and 34% noted that the low cost or free training and behavioral help would be great for having them keep their pet in their home. So that again goes by with what your initiatives are for 2017. The study looked at the different and various demographics of the people who had rehomed their pets, and this is also something that we'll touch on later, but they found that the age category was significantly younger for those who did rehome, and those ages were 18 to 39 years. So people that this age group category is a younger generation that has more of a turnover. So how can we educate and really target that younger population? If the cost or the pet if the pet was being aggressive, or if the costs were too high, they would try to rehome the pet, of course, and they would relinquish it to a shelter. Mostly if it was aggressive, they didn't know how to deal with it, perhaps. That's just an idea. All the information gained by the limited studies showed that they would keep their pet if they could access help, which suggests that training and other programs would probably benefit this demographic. Given that it's difficult to understand how many pets are rehomed to friends and strangers, it's unclear really to give a total understanding of how the pets are rehomed. So when we look at how Great River Rescue fits into the industry, we look at how the 2017 goals really align with the studies of the populations of the rehomed pets. Like I said before, one of your goals is to really provide education for pet retention and understanding that the reasons, or what the reasons are that pets are given up, even if it's due to the inability to care for their pets. And I did quote here an article that basically states that many of the reasons for rehoming reported in the study were reasons that may easily be resolved through affordable, accessible avenues for veterinary care, housing, and supplies. And knowing that some that relinquish to shelters report that they would retain their pet if they could access help. So these data points to the opportunity to explore programs and processes that reach pet owners both at the time of rehoming, but also ideally before that time, to best avert the need for rehoming and increase retention. So really we want to provide as much as we can to those people so that they don't end up giving the pets to the shelter. So this really relates to what your initiatives are. Great River Rescue has a strong website with many photos of past and available animals. This will really help as we try to drive the traffic more to the website. The cat cam is wonderful. I played with it a little bit yesterday and the day before, trying to see how many cats were in there and watching a couple paws come from underneath one of the adjacent doors. It was absolutely hilarious and it was very cute. That was something that I really think could be fun and higher up on your website. Also could see that linking through social media. There is an area for facts that is currently named Fun Facts, which provides statistical information that relates to the animals, shelters, and related topics. Thought about perhaps changing that to Quick Facts just because some of the statistical information may not be viewed as fun, especially when we're talking about how many pets are euthanized, things like that. It would also be great to see more adoption stories that included really good quality photos in the new homes with their families. Those could also be crossed with our social media campaign as we kind of move forward. Great River Rescue also highlights your events, which makes it really interesting to read and pushes the desire for additional information, especially when you see all the different places that you guys are going and your huge hit list there for summer. The donation tab on the website is visible. However, the link to the page is kind of low. I'd like to see that brought up just really bright at the top. It might be, like I said here, more advantageous to move the link up towards the top just so it's a little bit more visible and something that people really think of right away. The website does a great job of blogging and giving news to the stakeholders and prospective clients. I think that's very important. Annual reports and financial disclosures are readily available for the public, which really creates a lot of trust. So Great River Rescue is a great shelter up in Bemidji, Minnesota that we're really excited to be working with. CreateMe really worked hard on designing 14 print and digital ads that use those persuasive elements to align with the goals of your shelter. So information, resistance, influence, acceptance, emotion, message, attention, those are all areas in which we're trying to hit with the persuasion. The first one that we designed was an 8.5 by 11 inch flyer. This is something that perhaps could be posted around the community. It could be brought into events. It could be if we could get some donations, possibly an insert into the newspaper. Donations as far as print materials are always a little bit more money. So then the question would be, is there a possibility of getting donated print materials? Is there someone out there that can possibly provide this to you, the nice quality print draft? So here we tried to capture Kitty and just said, they rescued me. Now you can adopt me. Just a little bit more information about who you are, what your goals are, and then how to reach you. We thought it was important that they know that you're a no-kill shelter and that you provide really quality care, spays and neuters on all your animals, and your one of your goals is really to help educate the public on pet care. And then of course we wanted to advertise your 40 years. The next ad that we did was also for information, and it is also an 8.5 by 11, but we made this as a dog. So we really said, hey, they rescued me. I'm ready to be adopted. So just those eyes that come in at you and all the information that's on there, hopefully it's intriguing to somebody when they look at it and they look at those eyes and say, oh my goodness, I would really love that pet. So again, this is something for an insert. This is something maybe that could be posted around. This is something that could be for a smaller publication that wasn't very much money. Could be maybe a full page ad. If need be, we could downsize it if you wanted to do something different. This could be a flyer at one of your events and different things. So the next thing we did was a half page, and this was about dogs, and this is really influence. So what we wanted to do was to really create like this before and after look for the dogs, because we think it's important that people understand that that not all dogs are just surrendered nicely. Some of them are they're left to roam around and they're found by the county. Some of them come from abusive situations. And these really show dogs that have maybe not had the best early years, but now are really given the chance to find a really happy happy family and home. We did put some statistical information on here that I know can be irrelevant, not irrelevant, but outdated after a while. But we do feel like for this influence, we're really pushing the fact that people need to understand that, if you don't adopt, there are consequences to that. And we also, again, wanted to promote the fact that you are no-kill shelter. Over here we did also another half-page ad. This one has a little bit different orientation, and it also shows a cat. So we tried to alter between cats and dogs. This one we wanted to say they need more than food and water, because they need love, they need care, they need education, they need playtime, they need all these different things, and really a good home. So just to show these before and afters, show the kitten in a challenging area, and then bringing it forward and letting him see, hey, he's happy now, look at him, he's going to play, he's going to attack you at any minute, I know, I can see it in his eyes. I think that that's very, very powerful, and hopefully will influence somebody to say, you know what, they do need more, I want to provide that more. So the next one that we did was a half-page ad again. These could be used, these could be actually translated into social media. They could be used for the Google AdWords. They could be used in a smaller publication for a half-page ad if the financial means were there. These could be half sheets maybe that were passed out. They could be turned into the half of a postcard. There's lots of areas that these designs could be used in. So this one is this absolutely adorable dog staring at you with the little nose through the fence, just saying every dog has its day. Let today be hers. And that's really true. You know what I mean? Let her become a part of your family. And it's just those sad eyes saying, take me home, that we're really, really, really passionate about. And at the bottom, shelter dogs make the best listeners. Adopt today. And they do, don't they? Next one, of course, is a little bit different of a demographic, not quite the total animal. This one shows a little bit more of the person aspect to it, and it just says unconditional love. The best friends come from all places. Adopt today. And that's so very true. When you look at children, when you look at people, when you look at animal therapy, when you look at even kids with autism or all those other things, they can relate really, really well to animals. And that's just such a powerful, emotional thing, and we really hope that this comes across. The next one we did was more of a Facebook ad here, just kind of a little bit to give you some of the demographics. For a minimal amount of money, you can really post into Facebook, and you can really create some great ads. The main picture does not have a lot of information regarding Great River Rescue, because that's really what that image is for. So the image will have your logo on it and a little bit of information, but the content that surrounds the Facebook advertisement is where your contact information will go, it's where the linkage will go, and all the different things. So this one is to talk about resistance. And we kind of made a funny here with a dog with a cute little hat on saying, I'm not a show dog, but I do like to party. And that just really goes back to a lot of the people that want to adopt dogs or cats from purebred shelters, because they want to have a high quality show dog, right? They want to have something that's absolutely purebred and is going to give them no problems. And really that's even dogs that have various backgrounds and breeds can make great pets. They don't have to be show dogs. They could just be fun, great pets. So in the comments and the headline, we just say you don't need to be purebred to have pure fun and love. Adopted dogs are the life of the party. Find yours today. And of course, it would actually link back to your adoptable dogs. So this one was a little bit different. It shows this itty bitty little tiny kitten, and it's more of a personal thing too. It says we saved each other, Adam, or Sam and Aiden from Bemidji, Minnesota. And this is just a great ad because look at how intently he's looking at that kitten, just like, hey little guy, you're mine. And the headline just talks about the cat population is growing, so support adoption by visiting us today. And that's totally true. When you look at the various rates between the amount of dogs that you have available and the amount of cats that you have available, the amount of cats are truly more. The next ad that we did was for acceptance. Again, this is just to kind of show that people need to understand that life is not always the best for these dogs, but they can have good lives. So this one says, even strays deserve a happy home. Some of them are before and after. When you look at the before, that really thin dog looks like that possibly that was a puppy mill or a breeding dog. And then look at the dog now, happy with somebody. And then we have a couple pictures of maybe some dogs that could have been strays, or just out there that need to be adopted. And of course, with these, we'll just say some dogs are abandoned, some are abused, some surrendered or just plain lost. We are a no-kill shelter that helps protect these animals and find them forever homes. It's not just what we do, it's who we are. And I think that is very, very true for Great River Rescue. It's what you guys are. This next one I took right from you, the photo. And this one was just more of a branding back to your mission and your vision. We are committed to serving in the best interest of the animals we strive to protect. And that is really the vision of Great River Rescue. And down here we just put, not all animals come to us healthy. We accept that and provide the care that they need so they can be adopted. Help us protect the animals that can't protect themselves. Donate now. Everything helps. So that's really a strong statement because everything does help. The next one is a message ad, and it just talks about your donations help our volunteers rescue dogs and cats and find them forever homes and friends along the way. Just the picture is really cute with the dog and the cat together as one. And that's really what we would leave this headline to be too, is to talk about donations. The next one has the same look, and it would also talk about donations, and it would come back. This one shows more of a child with the animal, the hand on the animal's, with the dog's face, just kind of cuddling like it's my new best friend. This one right here is about your 2016 accomplishments. We can definitely update that with any goals or anything that you want to put on there. But this one really talks about what your accomplishments were, because I don't believe that people really understand what Great River Rescue does. The fact that you had all these pets and volunteer hours is absolutely huge. Donations of any type really help, and that's really what we want to do with this ad. Is I think we want to grab attention, and we want to show them what you guys do, and we want to really have them help with any donation of, if that's food, if that's monetarily, if that's time, however they can donate. We want them to help you. And of course, this ad here is another attention ad, and it's got all the various pictures. I tried to grab as many as I could off of your website, and I think you'll see some of these photos come in later too, but really wanted to show, the dogs and the cats and the volunteers and the people and the families. I mean, that's really, really, really important. And in the headline, we would say something like, together we make a difference, highlights for 2016. And again, we would highlight some of those things that you guys are doing that people maybe aren't aware of. This ad really felt like pictures really were doing the work here. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I believe that to be true. You look at these dogs and cats and happy faces and all these things, I really think that they make a difference. So in looking at your 3-year advertising plan and the plan and tactics, we ran this from August to July throughout from 2017 to 2020. Really, the purpose of these campaigns go back to what we talked about before, and that is to raise awareness for Great River Rescue within the Bemidji and surrounding communities, and also to increase the website visits and engagement by, we have 25% over here, which might be a little bit aggressive, but we feel that we can do it too. We need to make sure that you have new donations and adopters. We want to work on the logo and the hashtags, making sure that the hashtags are used when they can be, and throughout some of the future advertisements that you do. We want to make sure that your 40-year logo also runs through your 40 years, and of course always have the Great River Rescue logo. The branding, the look, and the feel, we want it to really be authentic and volunteer focused, just a big part of the community messaging, being what we talked about. Great River Rescue has been an integral part, steadfast part of the Bemidji community for the last 40 years. Talk about the decades in the past, what you've done, what you've accomplished, and all your partnerships within the cities with the different businesses and things that you've worked so hard to establish. These partnerships advance and support our partner organizations, while Great River Rescue clients and volunteers gain authentic service-based experiences, and rescue dogs and cats gain needed shelter and care. Due to these experiences, Great River Rescue volunteers engage with their communities and make meaningful contributions to the animals in which they serve, and of course into the region. We've been serving our clients and volunteers and animals in the Bemidji community, which is a no-kill facility, for the past 40 years, and will continue to do so in the future. So that's really kind of the brandings and the types of messaging that we want to do. The budget that we were given was $500, which will really play into effect when we talk about social media and Google AdWords. The print ads will be a variable if we can get donations for the actual printing, because sometimes printing pieces can be a little bit expensive, which is why we did more digital type campaigns. Target audience, according to the AAPPA, 50% more households have pets, of course, and then really that demographic, that age demographic that we talked about, are those Generation X, Y, and Zs. And really we talked about how we need those people to understand and be educated from the very beginning, so that they're able to help with retention. So if the main population that we're trying to engage is really born between 1966 and 1994, we have a little bit of a gap there, but really can narrow in and focus in on who we want to gain access to. And also, I thought this was very interesting about the Generation Xers. They are arguably the best educated generation, with 29% obtaining a bachelor's degree or higher. So that really talks about who our demographic is when we go to reach out to the various people. The competitor analysis was really interesting, and we noticed that in Hubbard County there were, which is only 41 miles away, one organization exists that could cross over into the Bemidji area. Like Great River Rescue, they are a no-kill facility. It's the Headwaters Humane Society. They opened in 1997, so they're relatively new. Looks like that they have a pretty good facility from their website. It says that their mission is to improve the quality of life with companion animals, and they do this by aiding in the return of lost or stolen companion animals to their rightful owners, and securing suitable homes for homeless companion animals. And it kind of goes on to what they have, but really we noticed that their dog and cat area on their website, their website wasn't quite as focused as what yours were, and your website, Great River Rescue website, is absolutely stunning as far as all the different pictures and the organization. There's a lot of information there, and the other one wasn't quite as strong. But I think if we can get the word out about Great River Rescue, there might be even opportunities to work together for joint ventures to try to make sure that these dogs and cats are taken care of. The other piece that I really want to talk about is Facebook. I don't think we really look at social media as being a competitor, yet at the same time, when I was looking up various pet sites on on Facebook, I found that there were a couple of closed groups that were gauged to they were put there to basically talk about pet sales. There's puppies for sale on there. There's so and so needs a new home. There's I don't know what to do about this, or I have this supply. One of those, Bemidji area pet sales, that's on Facebook, had more than 10,000 members, and that is all in the Bemidji area. So, they're forming these groups online, and while they're not like a shelter, but they're still a competitor because their business is being drawn to an online platform instead of by you. So then the question is, how do we get those people in there? Could Great River Rescue become a member of both of these Facebook groups in hopes to, you don't want to bash anybody for what they're doing because you don't want to get in an argument or thing, but maybe you could serve the knowledge if you have training that's going on, if you have dogs or cats that need to be adopted, you could put those up there. You could really utilize some of those sources perhaps to even though it is a competitive environment, to at least get the word out there, and that might be able to drive people back to your website, might help with donations, would help with visibility, could help promote some of the items that you have on your social media platforms too. So I also want to talk about touch points. So really, when we look at the various types of touch points that we want to have with our clients, we want to look through awareness, consideration, adoption, retention, and then advocacy. So we want to bring them to the point of where they're seeing us and where they're knowing Great River Rescue, to where they start thinking about, hey, you know what, if I was going to go somewhere, I would probably adopt there, to an actual adoption. And then of course you want them to keep the pets, but then at the end you want that word of mouth, that advocacy. You want them to say, hey, these people are great. We love Great River Rescue. They were easy to work with. They had great facilities. They had great people, and really kind of move through those different touch points. And that's what we want to help with some of these advertisements, is getting these people through some of these touch points for you. The next thing I want to talk about is just tactics. So Great River Rescue will plan public relations and pitch stories and create social media campaigns based on the donation cycles and pet adoptions. So this little schedule that you see down here, I know is a little bit hard to see, and I've actually increased it on the next page so you can see what it is. But basically it brings it out throughout those three running years, and then is broken it down by month. So I've shaded in the areas where to the date that you should be posting either on Facebook, or maybe planning to post items or start advertising for items for some of the events coming up. And then of course just taking advantage of opportunities with the Pioneer Press and different and various TV locations, to see if you can get some free press that you can again tie back right into your website. You can tie that free press right back into your story back on your social media platforms, just to kind of bring all those little pieces together. So one thing I really wanted to talk about too was different times that people typically would donate. The information I was able to pull, and again, I've cited all this information so you can see that, is looking at when people really give. And they found that 31% of the giving occurred, of course, in December. 12% of the annual giving occurs on the last 3 days of the year. So in donations made on Giving Tuesday rose 148% from 2013. So I found that very interesting. So when we're looking at when we start pushing some of these ads, I think we need to keep that in mind. Like, when is our demographic normally going to donate? When will they donate more money, and how do we get them to donate more money on those on and around those time periods? So so this is kind of what we've mapped out for you. We really need to look at measurements using Google Analytics if you don't already for the website, and also really paying attention to the analytics from Facebook. Who is engaging? How are they engaging? Are they engaging on mobile devices? Are they engaging on laptops or just desktops, or perhaps where are they? You can actually tell like where people are clicking, and then I think we're going to get a good idea as to where your demographic is and who's looking where. Are they in Bemidji? Are they outside of Bemidji? And how do we increase that? Are they male? Are they female? We can really look at some of those ads and those people that are donating and also clicking through, and we can look and see who those people are. And I think that those measured outcomes are really going to be important to understanding how the campaign is doing. So managing the plan, and I kind of made that one screen a little bit bigger so you can kind of see a highlight of what we've done. And I can give you the actual spreadsheet that we did with this too, so you have a tangible. But managing the plan, we really think the Great River Rescue will need to actively drive prospective clientele to your website. You'll need to raise engagements by diversifying the content on your social media platform. Twice a month, we believe that Great River Rescue should contribute additional stories with quality photos of adopted pets in their homes, really telling the story. I think that that's what's really going to sell the fact that people need to go to the shelters and not to a breeder or a puppy farm or a pet store to buy their animals. They need to come and look at these pets that are available. And we believe that that the stories should be posted twice a month, and it would also be beneficial to have before and after shots of the animals. Not all of them, but some of them that come under the shelter that might just for photo opportunities and different advertisements and social media pieces later to try to categorize some of these. And we think that the stories should all link back, of course, to the website. Stories should be pitched to the Bemidji Pioneer and other local TV stations with a low advertising budget. Pitched stories could really lead to a lot of free advertising and coverage throughout the area. Great River Rescue should track social media engagements through click-through rates for the paid mobile media campaigns, and of course should also become a member of those local Facebook pet groups that we talked about and post available animals events or training programs. Outcomes should be measurable and also should be measured related to the website traffic. We really need to understand how the various campaigns how they work. I think that's going to be vital to how we move forward. The Google AdWord is really a strategic planning piece. It works off of demographics similar to what Facebook does, but you only pay per click. So we can set a specific budget in there, whether that be $50 or $75, and kind of reach a little bit more of a demographic than just the Facebook ads. So our conclusion really is that Great River Rescue has so many things that are contributing to its success. The dedication of the employees and the clients and the volunteers are just really the heart and soul and the fabric of the organization. Your website is up to date, it's friendly to the eye, and the information is really easily obtainable. It allows for a lot of people to be driven to the site and can make our campaigns more successful, because when we do drive them there, they're able to receive what they need off of the website. We believe that adding persuasive material to the mix that's already being done, we can achieve measurable benefits for Great River Rescue. Fundraising and awareness were two of the top priorities for the shelter. By adding paid and targeted social media and Google AdWord campaigns, we believe that we can increase your traffic and to the website, to people looking at your adoptable pets, and also for the donations. We also believe that Great River Rescue serves a really strong need in the Bemidji and surrounding areas. We think that by increasing your visibility, which again is one of your goals in the community, and extending a little bit out of the region, we can increase the chances that those dogs and cats in the shelter will find sustainable forever families, which is really the goal. We believe that we can help Great River Rescue you with our mission of serving in the best interest of the families we strive to protect. And I just want to say thank you very much for your time and for the opportunity to present this material to you. And we'd be very open to any conversations. We put the contact information at the front of this presentation, and we love to just talk to you at any time. Here are some of the works cited. Again, we'll make sure that this is given to you as well, so you're able to refer back to the different and various items that we pulled out. Thank you again, and have a great, great day.